Hey, how you guys doing? I'm back, Lex. Just waiting for this thing to actually connect up. I don't know what you guys will be hearing about this or not. Um, let me see here. I'm gonna have to restart my app. See events coming up. Okay, it says it's live. Alright, I can hear myself. Sounds good. So this is the first time I've ever tried to do a full review. And you can see my my screenshots messed up because I used black again. I keep forgetting that you can't use black. I really like the color of black here. So anyway, let me go ahead and get rid of. Um, I wanted to do this with you guys in a different way. So basically, uh, the screenshot that you guys will see. I don't know why, but it's still not showing up. I'm gonna have to restart this app completely. Still not showing up on my phone. Let me try it again. Anyway, let me go ahead and do an F. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. Just getting stuff together. So I figured I could do this and you guys could ask me questions about it. And then maybe I'll do this like once a week or something, which could be cool. And I'm going to say that I'll fix my screenshot. I'll fix it later. Alright, so let me go ahead and do make it so you guys can see what I'm looking at. And then let me just double check it. So I have been trying to yeah, feel free to ask me any questions about the E50 as we go through it. Now I don't know, this is going to be like a test, so bear with me. So this is going to be a review live stream, meaning you guys could ask me questions about the E50, and I have some good stats in it. I ain't exactly, I do have mastery in it. It's probably one of my favorite tanks. I have 1 mark of excellence, and I'm headed to the second, but I usually stop before I get that second mark. So yeah, anyway, we're going to go ahead and first off compare the tanks with other tanks, which is probably the best place to start a stream. So if we check this out, we can see that I got basically the tier 9 competitors, and this is one of the new competitors for console. The Type 61, and some of these marks that we see here are actually kind of bad. I mean, what I mean is they're not 100%. But if you look at it, the DPM of it is actually the highest, except for, what is it? So you got 25, 40, 41, and you got 25, 61, and you got 24, 40. So the E50M and the T54 on the PC right now have the best DPM at tier 9. The E50M is right off from it. So I don't know if this is actually correct. From what I remember, you get about a 7-second reload with all the bling on the T54 on console. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a reference point, but I'm going to say that it's not 100% accurate. You guys can see that the damage it does, alpha, is higher. So this must fire a lot quicker, the T54. And I'll show you guys that the T54 has some serious flaws, recently, that make it not really a tournament tank. This year's WCL, I found that this is probably one of the best mediums. Another medium that is really good is the AMX30 and the Type 61. I haven't tried the Skoda yet. Excuse me. So let's keep on going down. So gun handling, you guys can see here that it actually has really good gun handling. In comparison, its gun handling is, aim time is better, dispersion rate is better, the disposition, so accuracy, it just leaves all these tanks in the dust. Forward speed 60. That's probably where it does take a step off from the AMX30. The AMX30 does 65, but it comes at the price of having absolutely zero armor. 900 horsepower, and you got 1,000. So the AMX30 beats it in speed, but not in weight. As you can see, the weight of this vehicle is almost 2 times as much as any medium. So if you see a medium and you're in this and you have good health, you should be able to shoot them and ram them for extra collateral damage because they're twice as heavy as they are. Ground resistances and stuff, the turning radius on this is kind of poor. If you look, traverse of the turret, traverse of the tracks is all poor in comparison. You can see that these tanks are much better at that. You know, they're more maneuverable. You know, in armor, you can see that all these other tanks have very bad armor. The only one that compares to it is the T-54, and it's only because of the turret. Which I will say, when heat's being used from heavies, the turret absolutely doesn't make a difference. What tank you're in, what hull you're in, armor becomes absolutely nil because heat can pin anything. You might get a random ricochet if you're shooting for the top cap, but anyway. So going to the model of the E50M, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I run mine. And I will say that I always rotate my crew between, I always use ventilation. A lot of people like camouflage and stuff on their mediums, but I don't find a purpose for that. So I run that rammer, and I run coated optics. And the reason why is because it has a decent aim time. So if we go ahead and run premium equipment and stuff on this, it will increase it. So this is the equipment that I'd like to run in it myself. Now something I just realized is I'm using the new tank inspector, so I can't actually show you guys some stuff. I will show you some stuff. Let me go ahead and move this over here. Kind of sucks about a live stream. I kind of forgot that this list here. Go ahead and grab the E50. Alright, so this one will give me the ability to show you guys all the stuff that you would want on this. The good thing about the live stream is you can ask me questions about it. What's up, Sneaky Ninja? So if you guys have any questions about the information you're being heard, or if you want to add something, you'll feel free. I know a lot of people use vertical stabilizer on this, but its gun handling doesn't need it. At least I haven't had to use it on console. So like I said, I use ventilation, gun rammer, and I use coated optics. A lot of people don't know why I use coated optics, but it's because the stock view range of this on console is actually 400. So you're seeing, you know, quite far with just that, and with 1 or 2 perks, you got overkill. Seriously, you really do have a little bit of overkill. So this is what I'm running as far as perks go, and I'll go in the order in which I have them, which would be, where is 6 cents at? Why am I not seeing any 6 cents here? That is odd. I guess 6 cents doesn't matter because it's not something that adds anything to your stats. So 6 cents, smooth ride, snapshot, situational awareness, and I got on console, of course, if you guys don't know it, you can get track repair and you can get repair. So getting both of those makes your track repair. You really don't even need a track repair with those. So I would recommend those two as well. And I'm going to say fire extinguisher, preventive maintenance. As you can see, it lowers your chance of fire and also does other things. So these are the basic perks. Recon is another one that gives you, as you can see, 479 meters. You can add 10 meters onto that because the E50, the E50 actually on console right now sees 400. So I haven't cross-referenced that, but it really wouldn't matter because, like I said, this is complete overkill. You don't really need the coated optics once you have situational awareness, and this, you really don't need it. But I like it because this is about how far you can see with binoculars. It just really adds in. Now, I'd add in camouflage, but the concealment rating of this tank is really bad. Seriously, it's not so hot. Yeah, it's really not so good. I don't think that this actually shows us the camouflage rating, unfortunately. Yeah, you got the gun depression, which is going to be changed on PC, but yeah. Something else I do is, like, in tournaments, I might run some chocolate. And you guys can see here that we can get our DPM to 3,079, which is just, that's high up there. And of course the pin penetration is accurate. So you get 220 pin And then you get, I think it's 270, which I think is accurate. 270 plus 220, which is more than you need with this tank. You can pin E75 bottom plates. I will say that it does help to be in a lower position on E75 when you do this, but some APCR might be needed for some heavies. I, of course, carry 4 HEs on me at all times. And the reason why is, one, I want to kill Artie in one shot. That's mainly why I do it. But if you guys check it out, everything we've put on here has added to the stats of this tank in a really good way. I don't really go for these. I have 10 perks on my crew. So, no reason for camouflage. Let me see. Does it change on here? This doesn't actually show the camouflage, but I can tell you that this is one of the... I mean, it's the size of a heavy tank, so it's not going to get the best camouflage rating. On console, they kind of give you a half and half, but I'm going to say that I most of the time get detected in this and I can't hide in a bush and fire. This is really a tank that you have to play like a really fast, heavy... I play it like it's a T10, except for I don't go up against, you know, like a Conqueror or something head-to-head. I'll use my speed to get around them. So let's go ahead and look at the modules. Yeah, I won't talk about that, but we can talk about the armor and how troll it is on console. Right now, if you're on PC, you only need a tier 8 gun to get this. So a tier 7 can pin this plate. But on console, it has an uncanny ability to bounce every single shot, especially while you're moving. You can see here that even angling it at this angle only gives you 200. But if you shoot at this thing on console or on PC, it will bounce. And it's kind of crazy. Even the hatch has the same thing if you don't hit it in the right place. If you hit it low, it will actually bounce. If you hit it to the right or left, it'll bounce. You can see why, too. It just goes from 482. Just crazy. And, of course, is it a good side scraper? You can side scrape with it. As you can see, you can side scrape with it. This is why I would recommend track repairs. And, of course, it's front plate. Something I like to do in this tank myself is I come around a corner. Let me go ahead and mark this here. I come around a corner and I'll give my plate and then they'll shoot at me and it'll bounce. And you can see here at this angle, if I come around a corner, I'm exposing my track point. But it's fast enough to where most people don't expect you to pop out and fire like that. And so if they do shoot your bottom plate, they need more than 211 and they need 263 for that. So I will wiggle this a lot, and probably the only thing that would kill me would be a track. If you tracked me, you could track pin me, and I'd be forced to use my repair kit to get out of there. But definitely something to look at. Something else, too, is its gun depression while looking down the front here. This is going to be, I think that's more than 8. I forget what that elevation is. Anyway, this is probably the best place to be if you want to shoot down on people. As you can see, is you kind of come up at a weird angle. It's not exactly good for your armor value to be like this if you're shooting at somebody. But if you're coming down off a hill and you're shooting at people, they're not going to be able to pin your bottom plate or your upper plate, but your bottom plate becomes a little weaker. And you can see here that your side armor becomes very, very weak. A lot of people don't realize that it don't really matter, because if you're hull down, it doesn't matter because you need to move back and forth. I've actually seen some people get really angry at other people for giving a 90. And if you're behind cover, which I would recommend, recommend being behind cover. And the reason why is that you can actually troll people by going back and forth behind a barrier when hull down. There's lots of places on the map, and you do have decent gun depression while giving a 90. So as long as your turrets is the only thing they can see, you should be okay. And if you're moving back and forth, they'll actually bounce you. It's a trick I use with this particular tank. And I also love the ramming ability of this tank. Seriously. Elevation and stuff, you know, it's all standard. So looking at the tank, you can see here, this doesn't have HD textures on PC yet. It kind of looks like a rusty, nasty tank. Yeah, you can see all the stats here. Let's go ahead and go back to stats, and we can look at that gun depression again. So it says it's 8. Now I'm pretty sure that's 8 only from the side, but while looking forward, I don't believe you have 8. I do believe it is, yeah, if it was in here, it would be 10. See here. Yeah. So to the side, you get 8, but towards the front, you only get 5. So they're going to change that soon. They were talking about how they're going to change the gun depression on the E50M. I don't know about the E50. But that's pretty much all the stats. So I'm going to actually go ahead and try and play a video for you guys. I tried it before and it froze the recording. And the reason why is that it could be technically copyrighted material. But I'm going to go ahead and try anyway because it's not copyrighted. This is my pre-recorded stuff. And so I do need to use an old program. And we're going to go ahead and just full screen it. And I should be able to just sit back. Should disappear. So the quality is probably not going to be the hottest either. What's up there, W Protector? So this was a game that we had on Hemmelsdorf, and we were playing with a good friend of mine, McLovin. He was last year's. He was in the last year's WCL with me. I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume down just a bit. So we were actually talking about, as I said, we were talking about, let me fix that. In this map, we were talking about where we wanted to go. You can see that we got Turbo with us. He's in a T10. We got McLovin. We got Cryptic. So yeah, this is definitely a fast tank, as you can tell. It's heavy, like I said. 62,000 is how much it weighs. And if you think about that, the tank next to me actually weighs 49,000, which is kind of crazy if you think about that. So it's definitely a weird tank. I always kind of wondered why this tank is actually considered a medium and why they gave it medium speed when it could have easily been a heavy. It wouldn't have been a competitive heavy, but you know, it didn't exist. The E50 was never made. I think it was on the drawing boards to be made, but you know, having 105 on it I don't think was anything. So here you can see the gun depression is not working in my favor, but I'm able to do that angling I showed you. As you can see, the patent haul down can be pinned by pretty much anything, and you can see there's really nothing he can do to me with the low pin on that. And you can see this is if you're gonna give him your turret, you gotta either be looking to the side, and you'll see here you gotta be looking to the side and get him to bounce you. Now we're actually gonna need to rush that T-34, which means somebody's gonna need to take a hit from him. But I want to make sure this patent is done for. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my E-brake. Here we go, E-brake. E-braked a little too much, and I decide that we're gonna go ahead and rush him. So me and Vince are running tandem here. We're gonna go ahead and rush these guys. So this tank is very good by itself as well, but it's much better in a pack. Seriously. Yeah, running what we're running here is a I'll say a tournament styled, you know, it's for sure is tournament styled. You can see getting some crazy air. Gonna go ahead and get some e-brake action here. Anyway, so cutting around here is so I can flank and get behind these other guys. The tank's so fast that yeah, these guys really don't even know what's going on. So you can see that Vince is getting behind him, and I'm gonna go ahead and get behind this E75. I have a dead tank here, which is going to help me in my favor. It looks like his turret might be broken, or maybe he's actually aimed in, or maybe he's just new to the game. I've actually seen bots on PC like this. Seriously, there's bots on the PC. So you can go ahead and ram him. There we go. So yeah, like I said, this is my pre-recorded video. After I shut it off, it may freeze. If it does, I'll just end the video there. Like I said, this is a test or an experiment. And you can see there we're cleaning up these guys. It is staying even, you know, staying even here. You can see McLovin with the new Skoda. 3-round autoloader. Decent tank, fast. Kind of hard to play though, and of course you can see here that that Patton's still alive. And I'm going to say only because he ran away. Whoa. Yeah, some of the stuff about the new physics with the auto lock, I'll hit, you know, I'll deselect it, and then sometimes it will keep activated, and I'll deselect it again, and then it'll finally work. And you can see that AMX-30 just killed that Challenger. So the ramming ability is something I wanted to show you guys on this, but I think you guys seen the weight difference between this and other mediums. Now the thing about this on console is that you have to realize that it's more about how much hit points you have than it is weight, which is something I don't like about this. It's not realistic. Now I was going to chase that guy, but that Conqueror's DPM can take out people real quick, so I decided to sneak a shot in there and help the team out. And then we're going to go ahead and just tear this light tank up. And you can see no need to have vertical stabs at all. Don't need it. I don't know what that maneuver was. We're going to call it a I don't know how to e-brake special. I am using a button that's extra on my controller. I'm using a Razer controller so that I can actually e-brake, and sometimes I don't hit it hard enough. So this was a game where I was still getting used to that. But yeah, anyway, amazing tank. I'm gonna say it's probably one of my favorite at tier 9. Just for its sheer, it's an abnormal tank. It's not like a T-54. It's got weight like a heavy, and it gives it advantages over other tanks. Does that mean that they should nerf it? No. This tank can be pinned in its upper plate by any tier 9. Just people just don't know to do it. It has to be flat on. So let's check out the stats here. So statistically, you guys can see here, it was a decent game for me. Added to my mark of excellence. You guys can see me, McLovin, and you got Cryptics in, was that like 4th? Turbo here. Yeah. So I don't think, yeah. Real good though. You can see this, I got a little bit of everything, a little bit of assistant. Just an overall decent game, and you can see here my efficiency was pretty damn good that day. Got 49,000 credits. Pretty decent tank. Just gonna put it out there. Alright, let's close that out. So it actually did work and allow me to play my own videos. I've tried to use Windows Movie Maker or Windows, the new Windows, and it absolutely tells the recording equipment that I cannot do that. As you guys can see, I have some other videos coming up soon. I got some Patton gameplay. I got some crucial contribution in a T29. I did 5,000 damage in the T71. Yeah. So, yeah, the E50M is a really amazing tank. It's something I'll say that you know, I never liked it myself, especially on PC, but on console right now, it's OP as shit. I wonder, I do wonder if they're going to nerf it. I mean, on the PC, the way they nerfed it is they made it so that the turret was just easier to pin, and then people would go into the E50M, and the E50M became, I think they added more armor to the front here because it wasn't competitive having like 190 millimeters. To be honest, having the flat turret can be a nuisance if they're shooting APCR or heat. But I will say it has an uncanny ability to absorb heat, and I'm going to say that's not realistic, but I mean, you know, hey, it's got to have some sort of survivability. It really does. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream / review. I was hoping to get some people asking me some questions about this, but maybe next time. Yeah, like I said, this is my first time trying to do a live review, show you guys some stats, and then we could talk about the tank and then look at some gameplay footage. It actually worked, which was great. So if you guys like this and would like to see more reviews like this, you know, that are stream orientated, please feel free to put it in the comments. This isn't a very long stream. And of course, if you want to see more of them, please hit the thumbs up button. Just thumbs up it. And of course, if you really liked it, and you guys want to know when I'm live streaming again, if you guys want to ask me questions, just subscribe. It will notify you that I'm uploading a video. And of course, I do share these on Twitter. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and have a good one. Later.